Now, what is the difference between Go Clean Co. and Clean Mama, and which one will help you keep your house clean better? Hey beauties, it's Robyn. Now let's chat about Go Clean Co. versus Clean Mama and some of the big differences, which one might work better for you, and maybe how you might want to blend them together. Now, if this is your first time here, I help overwhelmed moms take ownership of their time and their home so that they can actually relax and have some peace. So part of that is, of course, having a clean and clutter-free home. You know, as these things mount, our house gets messier, we start getting more stressed out, it's hard to relax, it's hard to actually enjoy life. So that is why it's important to figure out which thing will work better for you. So let's look at Clean Mama and Go Clean Co. Now, last week I did Clean Mama versus Flylady, so you may want to check that out. And I go over the differences between those two cleaning routines, but I personally kind of favor the Clean Mama routine now, even though I have been doing Flylady for a while. But so let's compare these. So Clean Mama. So Clean Mama, in 2009, a lady named Becky started her website. She called it Clean Mama, and she started putting her cleaning routines on that. I think she had figured them out a bit before that when she first got married and figured she needed a cleaning routine. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I heart cleaning routines. Now, this is a bit different than Go Clean Co. because they don't really have a cleaning routine, but that's not really the point. This is a pretty fair comparison, so I'll get to that in a minute. But I really do like Clean Mama's routines, as I mentioned. She also has a lot of really good details about how to get things clean and some good systems in place. She also has some books. This one is called Simply Clean. I love it, and I will link it below. And this has a lot of good information for the routines, but it also has the recipes. So this is more like the cleaning products. So she has like an all-purpose recipe, a disinfecting recipe. Now we'll get to that in a second. And a couple of other, like a lot of other really good things in here. So I really do like the routines in this book, like I mentioned, and I totally recommend it. But are homemade recipes better, and what's the difference? So between these two systems, we'll get to that. Now, Go Clean Co. you may have heard of. Now, this was started by a lady named Sarah, and she had a pretty small Instagram a year ago. And once COVID started taking off and everybody was completely disoriented and surrounded by their clutter and their dirt in their home, they started paying attention to her Instagram, and it seriously skyrocketed. She lives in Calgary, and I checked out her website. It is awesome, and I'm telling you, if I lived in Calgary, I would probably get her cleaning system. I would probably move to Calgary for her cleaning services, but I just can't handle their weather. Hi, Colette in Calgary. That's my sister-in-law. She's awesome. Now, on their website, she has links to her ebooks and a few other things, but her Instagram is really where she shines. Now, Go Clean Co. has a ton of stories that are posted every day, all about cleaning for the most part. Now, at the top, she's got her saved stories. Now, these are awesome and organized really well. There's like bathroom, there's shower door, there's sinks, there's shoes, there's all sorts of things. The list goes on and on. There's a ton of great info there. But the thing about Go Clean Co. is their main cleaning thing is bleach and Tide. They don't discuss any of the safer options, we'll get to that in a second, that Clean Mama does. So, you know, on top of bleach and Tide, easy off, not good for your health, but certainly quite effective. And also Dawn Power Wash, which I absolutely love. I use that stuff all the time. The other thing is Clean Mama, of course, has the cleaning routine, as I mentioned. Go Clean Co. they do discuss sort of how they like to clean left to right, top to bottom, but they don't really go into a huge routine. So that would be the difference there. So let's talk about safety, efficacy, and then I'm going to let you know sort of how I use all of these products. So I actually have a science degree. I'm going to put that hat on to go over some of the safety and efficacy. So safety-wise, let's chat about Go Clean Co. and some of their products. Now, Tide can be irritating to the skin, especially when I'm using it with bleach, but I use gloves anytime I'm cleaning with those products. In particular, it really dries out the hands. Like that is what Tide does. It breaks down oil, so it's gonna dry out the hands. Go Clean Co. they actually recommend using gloves in a bottle. I don't really find that that does much for too long. The other thing is bleach, which is a great killer of things, is also very hard on your lungs, very hard on your skin. So you wanna make sure you're using a well-ventilated area. That's the same thing with Easy Off, which is a product that is recommended for cleaning ovens and baked on grease, and I really don't know anything that rivals it. So if I'm using that, I'm going to be having windows wide open, doors open, doing as much outside as I possibly can, because you just don't want to be using these products too much. They are very hard on the lungs. A lot of information and literature on that. And you may find if you have lung issues, this flares up problems. Now, that being said, the more natural things that Clean Mama recommends, such as vinegar and baking soda and alcohol and peroxide, those are easier on you. However, vinegar can still be very hard on the lungs, so ventilation is key. Vinegar and alcohol and peroxide also very hard on the skin, and also don't use peroxide anymore on your cuts. It's very bad for your skin. Now for efficacy, how well do these things work? Well, bleach is very, very good at killing germs. Tide, it's good at getting grime and gunk off. Definitely very, very good at that. I love the Barkeeper's Friend, but you need to use these products all the time. I'll let you know in a second. As for Clean Mama, her ingredients, the more natural things, they're very effective in a lot of cases. However, a lot of studies are not showing that they are as effective at killing all bacteria and viruses the same way that bleach can. But do you always need to be using that level of disinfectant? Probably not. So for example, vinegar has been shown to kill a lot of bacteria, including E. coli, but you have to make sure that you're using the right concentration. Now, I noticed in this book that I have, the concentrations that she gives for her disinfectant are not enough to actually disinfect properly. So if you were going to use rubbing alcohol, for example, no, not that kind of alcohol. Rubbing alcohol and ethyl alcohol have to be used at the right concentration. Now, vodka and gin, they're not the proper concentration to be killing bacteria and viruses. That is the same for peroxide. So what would I recommend and what do I do? Now for me, I do use bleach, but I don't use it all the time. I use bleach when I'm cleaning my kid's bathroom because, like, come on, like, I do not trust these guys. And I want to make sure that I'm using the concentrations correctly. So I use a small amount of bleach. I'm using a well-ventilated area, and I'm going to wipe around the sinks and then the toilets, etc. I also use that mixture to clean doorknobs and light switches, high traffic, high touch areas. But day to day, definitely don't need to be using those things. I can be using the recipes in here and they are fine. I mentioned in my last video, I'm trying to avoid buying the bottles on Clean Mama's website that are gorgeous glass bottles because they're beautiful, but I don't need extra things. So right now we have a lot of the method cleaners. I use those most of the time. They clean very well. So my answer is both as for what cleaners to do. Clean Mama, I love her cleaning routines, and I love Go Clean Co's tips. She has so much great stuff on there. Both of these systems are really good though for tackling those things that are really stressing you out that you don't know how to get clean. If you really wanted overall to get the clutter under control and you wanted your cleaning to get under control, then of course a cleaning routine like Clean Mama would be very good, and I would suggest her book. And also I think that what would be very helpful is if you checked out the video I did last week on Flylady versus Clean Mama, because I go into the differences between them and which routines probably are better, and there are actual PDFs that you can download to compare and see which one that you actually prefer. So I hope to see you next time. Click that link to see that video and take care. Bye.